Meet me in Loten, traveller, is what Samson would sound like if he was from Scotland. I'm Shabash. How's it going? Alright, folks. Little bit of a mixed up introduction there. Never mind. We are doing a quest guide of the entire Unfelled, Rise of the Unfelled story quest line from tier 1 to tier 10. So if you are stuck on a certain quest, you don't know exactly how to complete it, stay tuned. This video we're going to do tier 1, starting off in Loten. So head to Loten and we're going to speak to our man, Mr. Samson, who's up here somewhere. He should have a quest or a scroll above his head. There he is there. So speak to him. I am playing on BlueStacks emulator, by the way, so I'm zoomed out a little bit. And here we have quest number 1, The Unfelled, defeat 5 rats. I think most people can generally manage this quest all right. We just step outside of Loten, and you can see there are some monsters around us. And yellow exclamation mark means it's generally a quest that we have to kill that monster for. So if you do not see many rats, or if you're stuck and you're looking for one final rat, basically you still need, you want to kill all the monsters around here, because the way that monster spawning works is that there's, in each map zone, there is a set amount of monsters that can spawn, and when you kill monsters, they will respawn randomly as a monster in that zone. Now, of course, later on you can increase the amount of monsters that can spawn in a certain zone or a certain area, and you can also limit the level of the monsters that do spawn, because later on, as you unlock more tiers and you go higher level, monsters of all tiers below you can spawn in your highest tier area. So basically, if there were no rats here, you just kill all these spiders, all the snakes, until a rat spawned. And this little button here to the left of your character is the quest menu. So you can see there we still have we still have 1 rat to complete. Nice little achievement pop up there. So I'm gonna kill our final rat and then head back into Loten. Basically, when you complete a quest, it should actually complete automatically. So don't worry about it. They might take a few seconds to do so, so you can always complete it yourself. And that's quest number 1 completed. We have to speak to Samson again. And we get to go and speak to Gofanin in our origin town. We have to build a shop for Gofanin. So your origin town is essentially like your little piece of Aethric. Every player has their own origin town, and you can build stuff like shops, blacksmith, follower shops, town hall, and in the future you can even build residences and have NPCs come and visit your town. So you can see, you go in and there's not much here. There's your home, which doesn't have anything in it right now. You can train on a cactus, but this will build out after time. So Gofanin is the little NPC that is walking around. He should be there at the end of the route, and we get to build a shop for free. So tap on that and then tap next to your home, I like to put it, and that is it. That is the quest completed. Now you can have a look in the shop, see if there's anything useful there. Mana potion. So I'm playing a mage actually, so check this out. I've got a mana bow here, which gives me 13 more attack than my current weapons. I'm buying this for 500 gold, absolutely. We could also buy arena tokens for some gold, but I'm going to leave it for now. I don't necessarily need that. So check shops for nice little upgrades. And then you can go into your character menu, click on the gear you want to swap out, and boom. That is going to be a nice boost to our magic stat early on. So back to Loten to speak to Samson. You can also check the shop here for anything useful. Heavy boots. Nah. Oh, there's a fine whetstone there. Save that for later on. So we have to defeat more difficult enemies now. Too many goblins, defeat 5 goblins, and defeat 5 goblin mages, and we get a whetstone for completing that quest. Whetstone automatically, well, it immediately levels a weapon to level 2, and we can talk about item upgrades and stuff later. But essentially for goblins, you want to go northeast out of Loten, and you'll enter the zone called Loten Woods. And the goblins, they should have a little yellow exclamation mark above their heads, and you can see that extra damage from our mana bow is super nice. So the goblin mage has a little staff in his hand, the goblin has a little dagger, so you got to kill 5 of each. And as we remember before, if you don't see any goblins, you can just keep killing monsters around here to get them to respawn, but there should be plenty of them around. I'm going to actually kill this little guy, this fallen mage, because they have the potential to drop an even stronger weapon, super weapon. So if you started as a warrior, you want to look out for a fallen warrior. If you started out as a thief, you want to look out for the fallen thief mob. Mind that only spawns at nighttime though, and night cycle. Oh, we got it. We got the fallen mage staff, right? Check this out. This is why you want. Look at this, 50 magic. Straight off the bat, level 3. We're just going to be crushing things now. Oh, 25 damage. For some reason, I didn't actually equip my staff. Bear with me a moment. Okay, there we go. Something, I don't know what happened there. Okay, we need mana. Don't be afraid to use mana potions as well, as if you are a mage. Okay, need to kill some goblins. This guy is a boss. The bigger enemies on screen are bosses. They actually work quite in the same way as monsters, except usually there's only one or two or a few bosses that can exist in any zone at once. However, if you kill them, they will automatically respawn immediately, and they will spawn as a boss off that zone. I also recommend you use one of your starting torches, because that increases the amount of monsters that spawn. Here's our final goblin. And you see with this staff, we're just one-shotting these straight away. Absolutely amazing. And there's a mage over here as well. Just need a couple more mages. Boom. Here's our final mage. And oh, attack button does damage. And that is too many goblins completed. So you can actually fast track back to Loten by going in the map and then warping to your origin town. So fast travel ports do exist later on in the game. Once you reach level 2, which is level 25, you can access your first one, but you always have a warp available to your origin town, available pretty much at all times. So I'm going to go to my quest menu, complete this quest, and we get a whetstone. I'm going to save that, speak to Samson again to start our next quest. And this is the good one. The Lord of Goblins, defeat a Goblin Lord. So I think if you venture into World Chat, you'll see this question asked a lot, where to find a Goblin Lord. So I actually have a Goblin Lord in this zone here. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend I didn't see that, and I'm going to walk up into Loten Woods. Because as I said, as I was talking about boss respawning, basically when you cross that there's an imaginary zone boundary there. When you cross that, that separates into this zone. And in this zone, only one boss can spawn at any one time. And at tier 1, they're all tier 1 bosses that can spawn. And you either have the Bandit Lord, which is this guy, or you have a Minotaur, or you have the Goblin Lord. So if you don't see the Goblin Lord, you basically need to kill the boss in this zone until it eventually respawns as a Goblin Lord. Now I'm going to join Earthen Legion, as I always do. It's my favorite faction. I recommend you pick a faction based on your favorite theme, whether it's earth, fire, water, or storm. So I'm just going to chill here for a second, see if we can capture this boss respawning on video. And factions, really, the only really limiting factor about faction you need to know is you can only join a kingdom, which is essentially the guild function of Aethric. You can only join a kingdom of your own faction, so if you want to play with friends or anybody, be sure to join the same faction. Worst case, you can always change factions later on in the rune shop up here. You can change faction. I think it's I don't know which one it is. Yeah, that one maybe for like $1. But anyway, there you go. You see the Goblin Lord spawned in Loten Woods, and I'm going to see if we can take him down. has a little bit more health. Actually, what I'm going to do, I am a mage, so I need to use my element to my advantage. I'm going to put on my Earthen Tremor, which will allow me to do 25% extra damage, because that is something I didn't mention about your faction. You do get 25% damage bonus with elements of your faction, and you also take 25% damage reduction as well. I take quarter less damage as well off that element to you. So you can see here, if I use Bolt, I'm doing 61 damage. If I use Tremor, I'm actually doing 65 damage, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a slight increase. There you go, 85. The reason I was doing less damage there is because I was burning, and okay, we were burning again. The status effect, it reduces your offensive damage by 10%. So there we go. That is Goblin Lord. We also got a Goblin Lord staff. We got heaps of XP there. The Lord of Goblins quest completed, and we get a lucky silver coin, which is a very nice little. You see, it respawned as a Minotaur there. You see, so if it was just Minotaur or Bandit Lord, make sure you just kill them out until you see Goblin Lord. Now, if you didn't pick up a fallen weapon, a fallen mage or warrior or thief, you may need to grind for a little bit to get a better weapon in order to kill the Goblin Lord. So don't worry about that if you don't get as lucky and pick up a fallen weapon first, in your first try. Anyway, we're going back to Samson. And the simple thing here is reach the next tier, reach the second tier, reach level 25. And for that we get a questing license and a nice amount of orns and a nice amount of gold. So I'm actually going to hop into the Lowton Town Hall while we're here, accept all of these quests. You can see these quests all expire after 48 hours. And doing quests is always good early on because it leads to achievements, which are a good way to give you extra orns as well. And I'm just going to grind for a little bit, reach level 25, and we'll touch base in a moment. And that will be actually tier 1 completed. And there we go. I've reached level 26, killed a Goblin Lord and then a Bandit Lord. Learned some nice new spells. But that is essentially tier 1 completed. Complete this. We get some orns, we get some gold. And we now have to meet Asmund in Svarga, which is just continuing along the path south of Lowton. Now, you can see my gear here. I've literally been carried by my weapon. Weapons are super powerful in this game if you are playing typically a mage, a warrior, or thief type class. So if you're struggling to kill things, you can't go wrong with trying to upgrade your weapon. But for now, I just missed that here, but I got an achievement there for Quest Seeker, which actually gave me 5,000 orns as well. Yeah, so I got complete 5 quests and you get 5,000 orns. I just need to complete 5 more quests and I get 10,000 orns. And orns are basically the premium currency in this game. You can see top left, you've got gold and you've got orns. But orns are actually what you use to unlock your classes. So you can see change class here just beneath your character and scroll through. And I'm going to unlock the Archmage, which is the tier 2 mage class for 10,000 orns. And I think that will be a really nice place to end the video. Big thanks to the Arisen Orna Legends for supporting me on Patreon and Twitch. Much appreciated as always. Keep me going. Keep this Aethric content stuff going. I hope you enjoyed the video, found this useful. If you are stuck on anything, please drop a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer it as soon as possible. I'm Shubash. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the tier 2 questing guide video. Ciao.